So I just want to do an overall like updated complexion video. So if you want to see that, then keep watching. Get down. No, 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 no. No. I do still use the same facial moisturizer. It's the Embryolisse Creme Concentrate. It's still my favorite. I like that I can mix anything with it. And it's super light coverage. Lightweight. It allows my makeup to sit just beautifully. It keeps my makeup looking like skin. So I do keep using this product. I have my moisturizer on. The thing that I do, where'd it go? That's a little bit different is I do tend to use this guy. This guy or the Makeup Revolution version. I just love to have a super glowy base. And, sorry, I thought I heard something. I did. I heard a child. A super glowy base. I have been, and I know it's like slightly darker than my skin, but I use a brighter concealer, so it's fine. I like how I do my makeup, okay? Just trust the process. I'm just gonna go like around. There's actually something I forgot to do that I want to do really quick after this. I actually am doing this new thing. I mean, I used to do it when I was younger, and I stopped doing it. I think just for speed purposes. But now I don't really care. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really care. I go between taking a long time to do my makeup and very little time doing my makeup. So the one thing that I actually been doing that I actually like is I take some eyeshadow primer, something very light. So I use the e.l.f. one right now. And I actually apply that under my eyes. And I just let it sit for a little bit. I actually just forgot to do that. I did that out of sequence. I usually do that before I do my base. And I looked down and saw it and I was like, oh crap, I forgot. This is what the base is tending to look like. Very glowy, very dewy, slightly tanner than my skin. You can't really tell. Or maybe you can, I don't know. But I do brighten with concealer, so I just feel like it keeps me looking, I don't know, glowy, sun-kissed, especially in the middle of winter. Ugh. To be fair, this is my summer shade. So now that that step is done, I either will take this foundation or my Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer and I'll brighten around my eye area. I'm gonna use this. I just apply like normal and I tend to kind of put the concealer in those sunken in areas that I have on my face. That's something that I've changed. I don't really do as much highlighting all over the place like I used to. Sometimes I'll do like a little here, like I notice some redness, but that's kind of it. I've gone away from the lots of concealer moments. I'm just gonna go in with my favorite beauty blender, which isn't even a beauty blender. I think it's like a Wet n Wild sponge. But I just love the texture of the sponge. It's just so squishy. I love this sponge. So I have my kind of bright center, and I do take like the residue and I just use it on my forehead. I don't like go out of my way and apply extra product. And something I actually do now is I just take my residual concealer and put it on my nose. Like I genuinely just don't care anymore. I just think it makes it easier. It's the residual coverage, you know what I mean? It's nothing crazy. Before we get too far, I need to apply my, no motherfucker, no. Before I get too far, if I can finish my sentence, I need, do you see what I'm dealing with? Where is he? Where is he? You see that? I have to apply my YSL balm. This has been like I have a million of these minis. My favorite. It's my when I'm not wearing makeup balm. When I am wearing makeup balm. My go to bed at night balm right now. Like, Laneige Who. I still love you, Laneige, but oh, this stuff is so fucking good. It's the, oh my god. It's a candy glaze. Yeah. Healthy Glow Plumper, Lasting Comfort, Double Care Balm called Candy Glaze. It literally looks like this. This is the little pamphlet it came in. Well, a pamphlet like that. I have a million of these. I fucking love this shit. But lip crack, okay? I love Laneige. This is better than Laneige. I don't care. This is better than Laneige. I said what I said. I will die using this. It's so fucking good. While that's sitting, the one thing that I wanted to try on camera is a new liquid blush. I've been using a lot of cream blushes. I want to switch it up. I'm normally using those creamy products. And I know I said I wanted this to be like an updated tutorial, but I also wanted to try something new while I'm sitting down in the chair. I'm going to use my normal bronzers and contours, but I want to try the new liquid blush by e.l.f. Before we do that, I'm going to apply my contour, and I have switched up my contour routine, and I use the putty bronzers and contours by e.l.f. I am obsessed. Obsessed. It's not as good as Guerlain by any means, but for the price point, for how much product you're getting, for the performance, it is really, really good. I do have it in 3 different shades for 3 different purposes. 2 of them are matte and 1 is a shimmer. So what I'm going to do is do my bronzer. Specifically, I use the putty blush brush, and you can tell it's greatly loved. This one I would actually say is kind of my perfect contour. It's not too dark, not too light, not too gray. It's perfect. And I'm just going to apply it as a contour. This is probably my, like I said, my perfect color. So I can wear this alone, or I can use it as a mid-tone and deepen with another color. And it just turns out stunning. I try to make sure that I'm focusing kind of more under the cheekbone and then blending upwards to avoid any harsh lines. And so far, looks beautiful. I do a little bit of my temples, just a touch. And the other side, so just a touch. And I do kind of bring that around like so. It just creates like this beautiful gradient, but nothing too crazy. Like it looks very soft, very natural. And I do go under my lip, technically around my lip, because then when I go to apply my lipsticks, I look like I have more volume, okay? I'm gonna use the next shade darker. So the first shade was Honey Drip. This next shade is called Golden Days. But I find it to be like the perfect contour shade for me. And I just do the same kind of technique, but I keep it more focused on the, like underneath my cheekbone, if that makes sense. Like even more so than the last color. I try to build it up specifically in that region and then kind of dust it upwards so it kind of melts in with the other product. And then I just lightly apply a touch here, a touch there, and I'm not going back in for much more product. Like I don't want a lot of depth, okay? That's not the goal here. I don't want huge amounts of depth. I want to make sure that I have a good base to apply this new blush. Okay. So this is overall what the bronzer situation and contour situation is going to look like. I just really want to try this. I'm scared it's going to be too crazy for me. I'm scared that it's going to be wild. Okay, it's not awful. Okay, it's not awful. I'm scared. I actually don't want to use this one. I'm scared. It seems dark. For what I want to do. It seems dark. I'm gonna do an eyeshadow tutorial that's blue and it just seems like it's too much color. I'm actually gonna try instead Dusty Rose. That freaked me out. I know it says like high pigment, so okay. So this was Mauve Aside and this is Dusty Rose, and I think this is what I'm gonna go for. It's just not, it's not too much, and that's what's freaking me out. Oh my god, can you see what he's doing in the background? He's making me crazy. And I bought a brush for this. I know it says a buffing foundation brush, but I figured if this was a high coverage or high pigment blush, then I probably would want a dense buffing brush. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've used a straight liquid. We're just gonna apply a dot there, and I'm scared to like leave it sit. So I'm just going to buff it out right away. And I did it on the apples of my cheeks, because that's the other thing. I'm not really doing like blush like this anymore. I'm tending to kind of bring it up closer to my eye area. Well, this is very pretty actually. I was really stressed about this, but I'm not anymore. I do blend it backwards, but I am tending to apply it more in this general area lately. And I think it's because it takes away from the indents I have in my eye area. And I don't want to accentuate that, right? I want to like not have those dents. Or like make them softer, if you will. So I tried this based on a recommendation from another artist. I don't even remember who the artist was. That's how long ago it was. And it sat on my mind. I let it marinate on my mind for a while. I was like, well, maybe I'll try it sometime. Maybe when I'm doing some kind of like, I think it was an Asian makeup artist. Like it was a Korean makeup artist. I can't remember. But they said to like soften around, whoever it was, it doesn't matter. Whoever it was said to soften, it will soften, excuse me, this area if you apply blush here. Like it makes this area just look fuller. Like I said, I do blend it back, but it's not back blended forward. Like I feel like most people do it. Hold on. I don't know if I like this blush. Okay, maybe I do. I take that back. I know it seems silly, but I've been applying a blush over the top of my nose. Like so. Just to kind of like tie it in. And then I've been doing a touch on my cheek. Not cheek, chin. And then I do a touch on on my Cupid's bow. Like right about there. Just like right across the top. And I find that to be cute. Like I just feel like it ties everything in together. That's how I've been doing any cream or powder blushes. So I just wanted to see how it looked with a liquid. And I really like this. So the other thing I do hasn't really mattered because I have bangs right now, but I will take some of that pink and take it right across the top of my forehead. And that's how I've been doing my blush. The next step is actually going to be highlight, and I've been using cream highlights lately. A lot of them. I'm dry, and the older I'm getting, the more, because I'm over 30 years old now, so the more powders I'm using, the more I notice that my skin looks drier because I have a dry skin type already. I'm gonna go in with my favorite cream highlight, which is this Guerlain Terracotta highlighter. And I'm just going to like stamp or stipple. No, I'm just gonna do like that. And I do tend to use my fingers with this one. The smell of this is divine. It smells like jasmine green tea to me. It's just really extravagant. very luxurious. I really just focus that here and up. And I still do like bring my highlight through my brow. That's something that probably is never going to change. I just love the look of that, and I just think it's so pretty. I love marrying my brow bone to my highlight, like my brow bone highlight to my upper cheekbone highlight. Last but not least before I powder, because I powder is like the final thing. I try not to powder sooner. Yeah, no, I don't know. And I actually just use e.l.f. powder because I would love to just buy my melt powder, but for whatever reason, the melt powder, you can't buy individual contours anymore. You have to buy the whole damn stack, and I don't need the whole stack from Melt, so whatever. I actually pretty much do everything the same. I do bring my contour into my inner, I don't know what this area is called. It's like the inner underbrow, whatever. I bring it there. I just love deepening that area. I don't know why. I just think it adds more mystery to my face or dimension. I don't freaking know, but I love it. Then I kind of go over that blush, and all I'm doing is, I naturally know where my nose, like the edge of my nose is. I take that edge and I blend it that way instead of that way. That's how I've always done my nose contour. It helps me like pinch my nose in, you know what I mean? Without using like harsh, heavy lines. I don't like having harsh, heavy lines in my makeup, except in my like graphic eyes or whatever. The last thing I do is I actually go around the edges of my nose here to create like a button nose. Okay. And then where my nose would naturally like kind of upturn, if you can kind of see, it's kind of hard to see because my tip of my nose is actually quite, it's not super pointy, but there's not a lot of fat or anything there. So I can't really like, some people can like create a crease. I can't. But I try to envision where there would be a crease, which is kind of right under where that blush ends. And I'm just applying like so. And then going around like so. And then it just kind of reshapes my nose. The other thing that I'll kind of do is I'll go over some of those areas where I did apply bronzer. So like down here, I will go in and I will kind of take some powder and kind of touch up where I applied some of that bronzer as well, just to kind of marry it all together. I laid my liquids. Now I can lay down any powders that I desire to lay down. So that's kind of what this is. I'm kind of helping lock those in place and kind of to also intensify them, if you know what I mean. So this is kind of what it looks like. The next thing I'm gonna do, which is kind of the last step for my complexion, unless I decide to add a little bit of like a glitzy powdery highlight over the top, like a light dusting. I don't think I'm gonna do that today. I wanna keep this looking soft. I'm just gonna powder. My powder of choice is actually the e.l.f. HD powder. It's a translucent powder, very minimum coverage. It has this beautiful luminosity that I don't even know if you can pick that up in the pan, but there's some nice sheen in the powder itself. And I just picked that up on a puff, to be quite honest. My favorite puffs are the ones from Target, not the e.l.f. ones. They're awful. But I think they're Sonia Kashuk brand. I don't know. So the only thing I'm going to do is just make sure I haven't creased anywhere, which that's why I've used that eyeshadow primer. It actually helps prevent as much creasing than I normally would have, which is why I love it. And I do kind of bake a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit around the eye area. Like I make sure to apply a light amount of powder around the eye area. but I do apply a generous amount in my T-zone because with all the dryness that I have, I do tend to get just a touch, not on the nose, just like right where I have these enlarged pores. And what I like to do is I like to start with the powder in the center of the face and then kind of work it backwards. Kind of like when you apply foundation, like a medium coverage foundation in the center of the face, and then you blend it outwards because you don't need as much coverage by your ears, right? Same kind of logic. That way whatever's like left over, it's setting without caking. You know what I mean? So T-zone. Like I said, the only thing that I would do besides this is just add a touch of highlight. If I wanted more glow, I would just layer another highlight on top of my cream highlight. You know, the only thing I forgot to do, silly me, is I forgot to apply my highlight on the tip of my nose and down the bridge. And I only use a little bit. I don't like to use a lot. I want it to be luminous but not heavy. So this is going to be it. This is going to be my updated complexion tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments below about the steps I did, and if there's anything you learned, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, just drop a little heart down below showing your support to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and smash that notification bell once you subscribe so you don't miss an upload from me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.